Hey, Kalyo here, the homecoming son. Today, let's dive into the very important issue of being true to yourself. Look, this is probably the single most important thing for us men. We gotta be true to ourselves. Now, how does it feel when you aren't being true to yourself? When you say something that you actually don't believe in just to satisfy others, or when you live your life in a way that doesn't serve your own purpose but sacrifice yourself for the ideals of others? How does it feel having a job that doesn't reflect your own true values? It doesn't feel good, right? It feels like you're compromising yourself, which is what you are, and it feels like you're strangling the life force out of your own being. But the truth is that very many of us leads lives like that, every single day compromising our own being, every single day not being true to ourselves. Some do it because they have forgotten their truth or stopped believing that it's a possible reality. Look, society today goes to great length in making us feel inferior, making us feel disempowered. We always give our power to others, give the power to control our health to the doctor, give the power to make money to our boss, etc., etc., etc. This is the society we have created. And it works in many ways, but it's also very good at making us seek comfort instead of seeking our truth. Now, others compromise their truth because they never found it. They were never asked the questions, what do you want in life? They were told what to think, told what to believe. You might see that our educational system is inflicted here. Our educational system tells us what to think, what to believe, not how to think and how to make up our own truthful beliefs. And so you can see how society, unfortunately, has a tendency to make us live a life that is untruthful to ourselves. Now, I'm not saying this to disempower you and make you a victim of society. I'm telling this to open up the possibility of all the power that you have within you to take radical responsibility for what makes up your beliefs and how you then act out your beliefs and live your life. If you don't take radical responsibility for yourself and your happiness, nobody will. Quite the opposite. What you don't take responsibility for, others will exploit. And as always, smash that like button if you vibe with what I'm saying. If you wish for more authentic wisdom on men's health and self-mastery, then hit subscribe and leave me your thoughts in the comments as we undertake this journey together, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Alright, let's dive in.
So, how can you stay true to yourself? First off, you gotta have a dream, right? You gotta know what you are staying true to. You must know your truth to live by it. Now, we covered this in my previous presentation, so make sure to go back and check that out if you haven't already. You find the link right up there in the top corner. Okay, so assuming that you know your truth, that you have a defined dream, a destination. Now we can start to build the infrastructure, the guiding compass to get you there. And of course, this is just a matter of speech, right? There are no destinations in life. There is just the eternal journey, the eternal now. But there is in your mind an identification of your truth, of your dream. And this is the destination that I'm talking about. We want to know our truth, our dream so well that just by building the infrastructure, which we will be getting into today, we are practically living that dream already in the here and now. So it is not about arriving somewhere, it is about knowing how to live your truth in the here and now. Okay, so you have a dream, you know your truth. Now we must identify with precision who you are in this equation. And this is not as obvious as it sounds. So, when we look at the self, we can see that there really are three spheres of this self. First, we have the small self. This is just you, what you define as you, your body, your mind. In common speak, you. But then we also have the expanded self. And this is you and the people that support you in being you, your family, your job, your community, you could say society. And lastly, we have the big self. This is you and all that supports you in life in general. So here we have, for example, nature at large, right? You couldn't breathe without the presence of trees. You couldn't see without the sun. You couldn't live without the sun. You couldn't eat without the soil, the plants, and all the food of the ecosystem, right? So now you see who you are. You are one with the whole universe because though you are a part of it, of a bigger whole. You cannot be separate from it. You cannot be a separate part from it because you depend on all of that to live. All of that is basically a part of you. It is you. You wouldn't have life without the support of it. It is you. You are it. Now, this becomes extremely helpful when making choices for our benefit and in general because it helps us massively in taking full radical responsibility for our life and actions because we now have the full picture of who we are and therefore what we must do to benefit our being as a whole. So you should look at your dream and see if your dream is reflective of your whole being, of yourself. If not, you must reevaluate your dream since your dream is not going to lead you to happiness. It's actually going to be very counterproductive, right? If you have a dream that only benefits the small you while you are destroying the bigger you, well, you're going to make life very, very hard for yourself. You're going to destroy your environment in your house and in society at large, and it's not going to be a pleasurable ride. But if your dream is in fact supportive and reflective of your true self, well, then there you go. You have found your truth. And now you can get into how you can stay true to that path that you can stay true to yourself. And this is living your dream in the here and now. So here we gotta turn to allying the inner doctors. We discussed this in our previous episode, the 4 principles of self-mastery. If you haven't watched that episode yet and you want to get into the specifics of how you ally your inner doctors and what they all are about in their specifics, then please check that episode out. You'll find again the link right up there in the corner, okay? It's important to understand that those doctors help us stay in alignment with our dream. We make core values within each of them, and sticking to those core values make us being on the path and actually living our truth in the here and now. Fundamentally, health, wealth, and happiness are one with each other. You can't have one without the other. And so that's why these doctors, though they are supportive of our health, are also supportive of our wealth and happiness at the same time. So, the deep infrastructure and the guiding compass that will keep us living our dream in the here and now is made by allying those inner doctors and getting clear on our values with them, each and every one of them. These are your 4 inner doctors, and truly the last 4 doctors you'll ever need, as Paul Chek puts it. Consult these doctors, get clear on your values within each and every one of them, and you will have your true core values to live by that will assure that you are living your truth, creating your dream, and supporting your whole being. Now, does that sound like a recipe for a happy life or what? You see, there you have what you need to take radical responsibility and be the master of your destiny instead of the slave or victim of the tyrants around you. And my friends, one thing that I can assure you is that there will be tyrants. And as I said in the beginning of this presentation, any responsibility that you give up to others, they will take advantage of and exploit you for.
That's it for today. If you found these teachings useful, then be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel so that we can expand these teachings to help even more men realizing that truth and truly be the men that they wish to be. And who, let's be honest, I say this all the time, the world really needs of us right now. That is so true. We need strong men. We need men who know who they are. We need men who can stand in their truth and be strong pillars of rightful action in this world. It is done, brothers. Love and chi.